I watched Heated Rivalry.
How was that?
It's hot.
I haven't seen it, but it's all the jazz.
You got to watch it.
Okay.
It starts as
Okay.
and then it turns into love,
That's awesome.
which I think is like, it's like what boy love is. It's beautiful.
Why do you think it pierced the zeitgeist?
Because it's just like, it's gay porn for everybody.
Okay.
And it's also got a lot of heart.
There's always got to be something else going on besides just like hot people being hot. Like there's got to be something.
It starts with it's got a great hook, which is you're about to watch men have sex to completion in a tasteful way.
Wow, cool.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And also like the taboo of it being like sports and like, you're not supposed to do this,
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
and it's a big sexy secret.
Oh my God.
And then it's like, whoa. So it's very like tantalizing.
Sure.
And then, is that the right word? Titillating?
Titillating.
I didn't want to say titillating, even though that's the right word. But then it ends up like, and then it keeps you going. There's like a few surprises in there in the narrative that you don't expect. Yep. So it ends up being like kind of a beautiful story. Hello and welcome back to Friend Crush the podcast. I'm your host, Yvette, and today we have a great guest for us. I mean, they're always great. I always say that, but today we have a little bit of a different kind of guest. We actually have a very big, famous, up-and-coming director. We have my friend Jonah Feingold. He is so great, so impressive. I've been in some of his filmettes, which are little short, like sort of mini movies on YouTube that are about like 30, 45 minutes. And I worked on one with him that was starring Connor Wood, and I was in a little bit of a scene. And he is someone to definitely keep your eye on. He has like a great internet presence. If you want to check that out, where you can see some sort of like clips of what he's been doing. But yeah, he's just like really motivated and a really creative person. So it's like, it was really cool to talk to him today and really like learn about how he approaches things and how he's such a movie nerd. And he said all these names that I know nothing about. So maybe if you're a movie nerd, you'll be like, wow, he mentioned all the people that I like from 1925. So yeah, it was really cool to talk to him today and talk about like creative process and sort of like what our goals are and also, goof and gab. And he has a new puppy. So we talked about that and bringing joy to people and how to do that. So it was a great episode, very interesting, especially if you're like a creative person. I think you'll really enjoy it. And guess what? I'm going on tour. Whoa! I'm always on tour, I think. Maybe that's for me forever. But yeah, I'm doing stand-up a bunch in New York City. So if you're in New York City, freaking come out. I'm doing a new material show every other Wednesday. So check on my website, though, for the exact dates for that, because they are a little bit in flux. That's going to be at Sash Comedy Club. I am also on the road. I'm doing shows in maybe your city, okay? So and if you don't see your city listed, guess what? Get on my mailing list, because I will try and come to your city if I see that you said come to my city. And then you'll be the first to know, so you can get tickets before they sell out. Anyway, this is a great episode. I love you so much. You personally, yes, you that is watching this right now. Thank you for being here, and I am so excited for you to hear me talk to Jonah. Let's get into it.
What's the best movie you've ever seen?
Well, I've seen two really amazing movies this year that I felt like really. I'm actually curious if you've seen this. Splitsville.
Haven't seen it. Heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, so fucking good.
That's great.
If you're watching this, watch Splitsville right now. And then Sorry Baby.
Of course, Ava Victor.
Oh my God.
In my first movie, Dating in New York, she played someone who broke up with Jabuki on the subway. And
there you go.
I
watched that movie.
Yeah, she's in the subway. She breaks up with Jabuki.
Oh my God.
And she was like, I want to go direct a movie.
And then she fucking nailed it.
I really enjoyed it. Thought you were going to say 31 Candles, the movie.
No, totally your movie.
I made it. I spent 3 years on that.
No, totally. And it's
completely independent. Didn't have A24 behind us. I
haven't seen it yet.
Wait, you haven't?
No, I know.
I thought you came to one of our screenings.
No, I wanted to, but I was traveling, and then the timing didn't work. And then
I was like, good to see you at the screening is maybe
You're
worse.
Like, you love this. No, yeah. I know. But you were, okay, wait, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
You have been on a tear right now.
Tear.
Okay, can I say something? I think this is your year.
Oh.
I think you've been in the pocket.
Thank you.
And you're like, every time I think you're like really hitting a stride. And you've done some really cool things this year. You did, well, I guess this and last year, but like within the past, time frame. So you did Busboys.
Yes, we shot that a year ago today, essentially, January, whatever today's is, 21st. Yeah.
Which, if you want to summarize for everyone.
Yeah, Busboys is a comedy movie written and starring David Spade and Theo Vaughn. It's about them who play busboys, and the one thing they want in this world is to be waiters. So
that's funny.
Do everything in their power to become waiters. And we are in the color correction phase as of right now. And hopefully it's going to come out. I mean, it's going to come out this year. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about release dates. It's tough to find the window, especially if you're trying to push a theatrical release where you're trying to get people to go to the theater.
Yeah. And that's what you're going to do with this one?
Yeah. Because David and Theo have theatrical pull. And it's, they can get people to a theater, in my hope.
Yeah. No, totally. Of course they can.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Theo is one of the top podcasts like of all time, I think. Yeah, so I'm sure he can get people out.
We have Tim Dillon in the movie. We have Bobby Lee. We have Jay Farrow.
Star-studded.
We have, oh my gosh, who else is in the movie? We have, Nate Diaz, the UFC fighter's in the movie.
Totally. He has to be in the movie.
My friend Leia.
I want him in my next movie too.
He's great. He is great. Leia McKendrick, who's a really gifted director. She just made a movie for Netflix called Voicemails for Isabel with Zoe Deutsch, but she like plays a role in the movie, which is kind of cool. And gosh, and my friend Jimmy, who's in the new Christopher Nolan. It's a great cast.
Yeah,
it's an ensemble cast. Yeah.
So then that was big this year.
Yeah, it was big.
Which also is, okay, wait. So people who don't know you, you're more of like, you have a very specific style and vision, I would say. Yeah. And we've worked together a little bit, I am familiar with that thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you're really into rom-coms.
Yeah.
And I would describe you as like Woody Allen meet, sorry guys, stylistically. He has an of-age girlfriend, okay? Guys, be grown-ups here.
I do.
And she's beautiful. And I haven't met her. But she seems great.
You still haven't met Molly?
I still haven't met Molly.
Have, like, friends. That's great. Okay.
No, wait, I did meet her at the diner, but in passing.
There we go.
Fuck.
There's been a meeting.
No, I know. I hugged her. And
but we need to get like a proper hang.
I know. We actually have to like legit catch up and such. Yeah, I know. Well, double date with your dog.
Lucky.
I love your dog. Yeah, and then but you basically do, and then sort of like I almost want to say like Wes Anderson-y a little. I get just because of like the colors of it all, and then also like a Rob Reiner, like When Harry Met Sally, kind of
the goat.
Yeah, like you have a very specific like visual style, I think, and then also you're very interested in sort of like the difficulty romancy stuff. Yeah. Which is also what I'm interested in. So I'm very happy to know you and to have that in common.
It's nice we have that in common. It's funny because all those people that you reference, while I do love their work, the work that I watch on repeat, I know, I'm curious where you get your inspiration too, but like I become so obsessed over my career of like, where does that idea come from? And trying to get to the evolution of an idea. You go back and you discover Billy Wilder and Ernst Lubitsch, and you go back and you discover John Ford and Howard Hawks and Frank Capra and like the first people to do talking movies. And then you go back and you're in silent film and you have Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin. You're like, oh, it's all invented back there.
And then one day there was the Big Bang.
And then there's a dinosaur. Tyrannosaurus Rex has a scene idea. And it's a love story between Tyrannosaurus Rex
and they were cavemen and they were doing shadows against the walls. And that was the original.
No, but that's fucking true. That's exactly right. But isn't it interesting like when those things happen and like, I feel like as artists, we're actually, the problem with, there's so much great, talented filmmakers, but the problem with the art we're making sometimes is it isn't brave enough. Like Casablanca was made during World War II. Totally. But it's literally about a World War II occupied city bar, and there's a love story within that. Right. You're not seeing a movie that is going to theaters about the occupation in wherever we want to point to in the world. Right. And like a love story set there. You can't even get that greenlit. Right. So I do, and the apartment,
I'm writing a rom-com about the Venezuelan prime minister. What's his name again?
What is his name?
What's his name again? Maduro. Sorry, brain fart. Yeah. Maduro. I'm writing about Maduro and P. Diddy falling in love in jail in Brooklyn.
There you go.
With Ghislaine Maxwell.
There you go. See, that's
Luigi Mangione. They're having a foursome. That's my next idea.
That's like a microdrama. That's like, that would actually be a hit.
It would actually.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah. Put that for the YouTube channel. They like the When Harry Met Sally thing is awesome, but it was also the first great movie, brilliant movie, perfectly well casted, great dialogue, very solid direction. The first time you had seen a sort of working class male, female,
Right.
not about crazy plot, not about crazy sex, just asking each other questions about love. That was the first instance of that ever. Prior to that, you had the neuroses of Woody Allen.
Right.
And then prior to that, you would have the plot-heavy films of like A Lady Eve or The Apartment. But this was the first time you just had two people walking and talking that's still beautiful and commercial and
Right.
funny.
Right.
And we're not seeing enough of that. We're not seeing enough stuff that's like new in its sort of like thematics.
Right.
We're seeing, and which just gets me on a whole plot hole, but I think our generation is a little bit too derivative and we all kind of copy each other. Or
Totally.
we're not.
Everyone's trying to do
original.
stuff that's like something else instead of
Exactly.
like, what am I doing? What's my unique voice?
Right. Which you do so well with your stuff too, which is a
Thank
very
you.
unique voice. And that's why we love you.
But that's like the number one thing that I've gotten as feedback from like anyone that I've shown my work to, like across the board,
Yeah.
is like, oh, it's so like it's your voice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that that's something that I actively push myself and strive to do is
Yeah.
to do something that's like, well, because you can't really write like somebody else. You can only write like yourself. I mean, you can
try.
you can
If it doesn't
try, but
come
it
out
won't be
great.
good.
Yeah, it won't be good. And that's the thing. And also like, then you kind of really fail. Like at least if you make something that's so authentically you and people don't like it, how are you going to be pissed? It's you. It's just,
Right.
you
And then
tried
you
your
can
best.
you can be proud of that thing in and of itself.
Yes.
Like you don't have to. I had a teacher actually when we were studying like writing poems and like when I was like 16
Yeah.
in like my AP English class or whatever. And I like wrote a poem and I was like, I don't know if it's good. And she goes, it's you. How can it be bad?
100% that.
And honestly, that's one of those like early memory things that like really sticks with you. You know what I mean?
Where was this, lower school? Or middle
This
school?
was high school. Yeah.
That's a great high school teacher.
I know. She was amazing.
But this is the thing that people do when they send writing. They go, can you read my script and tell me if it's good or not? And I go, it doesn't fucking matter. Like,
Yeah. If it's
you,
true, if it's real,
it's good.
Then it's good. And like there could be some things you can like punch up here and there
Yeah.
or whatever. Like this thing needs to be tighter. This plot has to be like
Yes.
thicker, whatever.
Yeah.
Tension. But like, yeah, overall, it's like,
all relative. But that's why it's interesting to come onto a project like Busboys, where it's like, that movie is not mine. That's a movie they wrote.
Right.
It's their voice. My job, I have these two sort of identities. One identity is Jonah movies, which are like within these thematics that I love to explore. I'm pushing what I believe is cinematic style that I can invent upon. And there's other projects where I sort of come in and say, hey, it's my job to make sure everyone can do their best work, gets along, has fun, survives the day,
Yeah.
and hopefully we make something really good.
Yeah.
And that's something like Busboys.
right.
It's something like the Kenan Kel movie, which
Right. Which I was going to bring up
Yeah,
next.
yeah.
How exciting.
Super exciting.
That announcement just hit the floor.
Hit the floor. Had I told you about this project
No.
before? So it's Kenan Kel Meet Frankenstein, which is sort of a homage to Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Okay.
And have you seen that movie?
No.
Ever? It's so good. And
Just assume that I haven't seen anything and I don't know what you're talking about at any time. So why don't you just
Well,
yeah.
Abbott and Costello were like the original Kenan Kel. Like they were like one of the OG comedy duos. It was like Laurel and Hardy,
Mm-hmm.
Kenan Kel. Sorry, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, Kenan Kel. You know, the Three Stooges. Like all these different types of people who comedy troops.
Yeah.
And Abbott and Costello would do different types of movies. Frankenstein, The Mummy, if you go on vacation, like all these different, The Great Adventure. Like they would just take their comedy act and they'd place them into sort of larger pieces of IP. And Kenan and Kel were really big fans of that material. And they said, you know, I got a call from a producer and they were like, would you want to try to figure this out? And I was like, of course. I love Kenan and Kel. And I love old movies. I love old school. And this is what I do is nostalgia in the present. So
Right.
it was an interesting fit. And it's been a process. I mean, we've been working on it for a while. I've working on the second draft. And then sort of yesterday,
Because you're writing it.
I'm attached to direct the movie.
Okay.
I don't know why that's not necessarily public. My gut is that like any one of these movies, I am on the script. Any Hollywood film, very rarely does the original writer stay on the entire time.
Okay.
Which is just a way to basically have different people and different opinions on the script. So they might eventually bring on a different writer. This is my first time writing a horror movie. So like I'm honored to be
Yeah.
in the room kind of thing. If I end up being the writer on it and they choose to, things happen, then I'm still directing the movie. But things can get in the way of that. It'd be really fun to direct. Would also be really fun to learn from a horror director who's like done this kind of stuff before and just sort of sit back and watch. But
Right.
they are really nice and passionate and such creative people. It's so cool to see them work just because they're all about the creativity. They're like, dude, they read the scenes out loud in character. They're talking about casting. It's really, you understand how prolific Kenan and Kel are and their team, Johnny Ryan and Brian Kavanaugh Jones, because it's really just about the work, which you always hear people say, but like there's no like politics of it. It's just like, here's the script. Okay, let's read it. Let's work on the scene. All right, who do we want to play this role? Let's go call them. And they just call them.
Cool. Love that.
And yeah, so it's, but again, not a rom-com, but I love Scooby-Doo growing up. I love Kenan Kel. I love the old school monster movies. And I'm learning how to be a little bit more horror-centric.
Right.
But to me, and I'll just say this here, the way I got excited by the movie is like every artist needs to find a way into the material. So you might get a piece of material across your desk that's like not you at all. But then you got to think about it and say, well, what is it about this that like I actually would respond to if I had to go down this path? So I was like, okay, monster movies. What if the monsters weren't the monsters and the humans were the monsters?
Right.
Like humanity, we are this horrible thing that has come to Earth and destroyed it, and we're evil to each other. And like maybe monsters who are just trying to exist are like the good guys. And like that was a message and a thought that got me really excited to go write, 100 pages pretty fast.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
that's so cool.
yeah. So that's been fun.
It's cool that you wear so many hats.
Yeah, there's a lot of hats.
Yeah.
I would like to have eventually not have to wear so many hats on the team.
Right. And then you can like just focus on.
Do you have an assistant or anything?
No.
Do you have an assistant? Would you ever want to get an assistant?
I don't know.
No?
Well, I'm a control freak.
But I think two things can be true.
Okay.
Like I think
if I had a good assistant that could really, I mean, my manager
Right.
does a lot for me, my management team.
Do I know your manager?
No,
Okay.
probably not. They're in LA. I mean, you might know. You know a lot of people.
Yeah. How's that? So how does that work? How does that relationship work with your manager? Are you allowed to talk about this on the podcast?
Oh yeah, I mean, sure. Like they like book stuff for me and like
stuff.
make sure
Oh.
I execute like
Right.
things for me. So like I'm going to GW this weekend to do like stand up, and like they just sent me like the flights and the train ticket and like the hotel or stuff, and I'm just like, yay.
When you do that, is it like, do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy touring and doing stand-up comedy in random cities? Like, do you like I'm in a new hotel? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun, right?
I'm new to it,
Yeah.
so I'm like hee. I'm sure
Yeah.
it gets old. I think what I really love is New York is so chaotic, and I'm always trying to do a million things. And then when I'm on the road, I'm like, you go in that day, all you have to do that day is get to the show.
It's nice.
And just do the show.
Yeah.
Be prepared for the show mentally, be like well-fed, well-rested, like just like get your body physically
That's
in the
great.
right place
Yeah.
and your mind in the right place, and then just do the show.
Do the show.
And then you go to bed and you eat chicken fingers in your bed and you go home.
Love that. And it's kind of fun. Like I toured with a comedian named Eliza Schlesinger. We made a documentary about her career. Yeah, we shoot. This is like 2016, not to bring up that year that everyone's obsessed with, but I toured with her with a camera, and she was, I didn't realize it at the time, but yeah, it's like really intense. I mean, she would always be leaving LA. Like her second home was LAX. And we would be traveling and we'd go to these random clubs and they bring you food in the green room.
Yeah.
And I could see how alcohol could become a problem.
Totally.
She would never drink.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't drink
because
really
you got to
at all.
focus. It's a job, right? And for me as a production crew member, I was like always going to like the cool new brewery in town. Like we went to Denver and we went to some like whiskey distillery. And then like that night she had the show. And then like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of fun to be a tourist
Totally.
in a town every weekend.
Which is cool. I've given myself permission to stay in the hotel and not
And
do
not have to go
anything
do that stuff.
because like I've been to all these like a bunch of cities like in the past whatever like 4 or 5 months, and I genuinely am like I can only focus on one thing at a time, and so I'm like, ugh, it sucks. Like I haven't even like I'm blocks away from like something I'm supposed to see in that city, and I can see it on the map, and I'm like, I need to take a nap. I need to
Good.
just like shut down my brain. And
It's a good piece of advice, people.
focus.
Just like give yourself the rule that you don't have to actually do the tourist attractions in the
Yeah,
city because
which
you're
is
not a
lame,
tourist. You're
but-
there for a job.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I reframe it and I'm like work trip.
Yeah, work trip.
But when you were on tour, like what was your biggest takeaway? Like would you like that lifestyle? Or?
No, when I was on tour with her, I mean, it was too exhausting for me. I mean,
Yeah, it's exhausting.
biggest takeaway was she is so professional and like, I don't know, my biggest takeaway with Eliza, and that movie is on the internet somewhere. It's called Over and Over. And we haven't spoken in a long time, but like, you know, what I was so impressed by with her is she is such a pro. Like we would see other comedy acts and sometimes people go up there, and this is all, of course, relative to your shtick, right? If you're like a sort of like, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, then that's your shtick. But like, she would come in, command the stage, command the energy. The light was the
she's
way
very
she wanted. Physical
too. Yeah.
And second she got on that stage, she was giving you sort of 200%. And she knew you paid money to be there. That was the vibe. She was never wasting your time. She was never trying new bits, looking down at the phone, doing the notes. She had a really well-rehearsed act. Now, in her, what I learned about her too is that she was recording her third special for Netflix, which she recorded on an aircraft carrier. So it was all sort of building up to that moment. And she was practicing a set.
Right. We're just ramping up to the hour. Totally.
Yeah. So that was maybe a different thing. But I that's always stuck with me in my career and how I can apply that to when I'm on set and directing actors. It's, and when I'm just working on a project, and particularly in Brooklyn, like you see so many comics who are just like, I'm like, do you know that people paid money to be here, like to be with you? And
sometimes it feels like they don't care. Well, because that's a mental protective thing.
Is it?
Because if you don't try,
right,
and
how
you
can
fail,
you fail? Yeah.
Then it's like, well, I didn't try that hard.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's like it's essentially a defense mechanism.
Whoa.
And if you leave it all on the court and you still bomb, that's you.
But everyone bombs. So like the bomb
Everyone
is always
bombs.
going to happen.
I know. You're going to bomb if you try or you don't try. Like it's just, you're going to bomb sometimes. So
I was talking to a mutual friend, Sarah Coffey. Sarah Coffey? I forget if you know. She was in 31 Candles. Today's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Well, she's friends with Joey Dardano. You know Joey?
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Good. So Joey and Sarah are both in 31 Candles, and they're, stand-up comics, and Joey's touring and Sarah's doing shows. And I was like, we were touring 31 Candles, and every audience was kind of different. It's different because it's a movie.
Oh wait, also we skipped over 31 Candles. So you made 31 Candles.
Yeah.
You did it yourself?
31 Candles, completely independent movie. I raised the money, casted it, produced it with two other producers, Jonah Weinstein, Hannah Welliver.
Love.
We shot for 17 days 2 years ago during the SAG strike. We worked with a theater booker / distributor to sort of put it in movies. I knocked on theater doors. I said, can you show my movie?
Super guerrilla, on the ground, grassroots.
On the ground.
And then now you've been premiering it in theaters, and it just got picked up for
by
more.
AMC. We did such a good job at because we were able to tour it. So like similar to your stand-up, we toured. We did Q&As. I went to New York. I went to Florida. I went to California.
Right.
Sold out these screenings, and AMC said, that's really impressive.
Right.
Let's give you a week. And we only had a week, but like that week got us into Texas, and the movie was never going to Texas prior to that.
Right. And so, people got to see the movie.
People got to see it on a big
So how
screen.
do you feel about it now that you've done it?
I feel incredible. I feel like I went into it as this sort of like purist of like how important it is to be on a big screen. And very optimistic, but it's like, the way I compare it is like, we're like a small little sailboat that's really fucking cool. And we have like rum and like grapes and like crackers, and like we're all wearing sunglasses, and it's awesome. But we're surrounded by giant ass cruise liners and tankers. And those are bigger movies. And no matter how cool and how hard we try to catch wind, we will always be overcome by these larger ships that their wake can still flip us, even when they're 100 meters away.
Right.
Look at these nautical terms. And that part's just hard.
And you're wearing that sweater, so you had to speak in nautical terms.
Nautical terms.
Yeah, for the listeners, he's wearing a blue sweater with a white collar, so you get the picture anyway.
But it's just so hard to release an independent movie, no matter how good it is, or bad, or who's in it. Like, it's just too hard. You need so much money to market it. We didn't have a marketing budget.
Right.
So everything was organic. So I'm exhausted. I'm like, okay, I can make.
And you put your whole everything into it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you were really brute force like everywhere, but
I can make a good movie. The hard part is releasing it. The hard part is like, you need 2 years to market a film. My biggest piece of advice, not that this is like an advice podcast, but like now my advice to people is start marketing your movie the day you have the idea. Like the day that you're like, I want to make a movie about, two podcasters in a room who get eaten by a dinosaur.
My favorite movie.
Your favorite movie?
We're making that. Maduro's there too.
Yeah, you start. Yeah, exactly.
Takes place in Brooklyn, so Maduro's there.
You start marketing it. So like, and that's like that's just the hard part. So I don't know. I'm tainted. I definitely went in so like Amy Poehler's character in Parks and Rec. I'm like believing
believing in a thing. Yeah.
Believing in it, and I'm like, whoa, like tough.
But you got it out there. I mean, it was your art, and you got so many people to see it.
Yeah.
And you had like, you built sort of a community around it. I mean, it was very much like the buzz of, I mean, at least in our circles, and I know we're in the same circle, but still like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. I was like super excited for you that was the case.
In my wildest dreams, it's gone better than I could have ever possibly imagined. I literally made it and I said, I hope a person sees it, you know, and then it's like, I hope it goes to the internet. And then it's like, I hope it goes to a big screen. And then I hope it goes to 50 big screens.
Wait, so now where is it?
There's still some AMCs playing it, but for the most part, I believe we're off screens. We're still we're still sort of touring it. My strategy is like, I want to go to the small theaters. Like we're going to do a theater in Long Island. I'm going to go to Toronto in February. We're going to do Canada. And then come March, because it takes a 45-day window before we can go on the internet, we will try to go onto SVOD, which is a subscription service, like a Netflix or a Hulu or something like that.
Okay.
Or AVOD, which is like a Tubi or an Amazon or something that shows ads, right? So we'll make it available on the internet.
Cool.
I don't have full control over that outcome given the path we've chosen with theaters. But in the future, I might say to myself, well, shit, I wish I could just make a website and put it on the website and say, you missed it in theaters, go to 31candles.com, buy it. The problem with that is, how does a mom in Wichita, Kansas get that on her TV? That infrastructure doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to go on Amazon and Roku. And
that's why you have to start your own streaming service.
Literally that. By the way, you're better off doing that. If you're going to go raise $1 million for a movie, allocate $200,000 of that money to build your own platform to release that movie. And then you control it forever. Yeah. And you only have to do that once.
There are a million ways to skin the cat now, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
One thing about you too that I really admire about you. Well, so I feel like we're sort of similar in that we both have that dog in us.
We do have that dog. Oh, for sure.
I think that's something that I
thought you were
really
talking about dog for a second. I was like, Lucky?
Yeah. You're like my baby boy. Girl. Sorry. Yeah. Oh my God. I keep misgendering your dog.
You totally have that dog. That's why you and I are friends.
I know. That's because real recognizes real.
Drive. Yeah.
I know. And what's cool about you is that you will just be like, I'm making this happen.
Yeah.
And then you do. Yeah. Because you really can do anything. Like you can do stuff. Like it takes a lot of work, but you can do stuff.
When did you I feel like you're younger than me. When did you sort of look in the mirror and say you had that dog too? You know, what was the moment for you? Because you do the same thing. You can just go out there and make your thing.
Yeah.
And well, I guess my question is also, what part of it do you enjoy the most? Because that's the part I always have to check in on. I'm like, what am I working towards? Like, I think we're just more so I am playing with the fire. Like, especially when I go to like lunch with my mom, she's like, okay, so you should be like Ryan Seacrest. We should call NBC. We should get you to be a host for a show, or we should use this press to like go get you something. I'm like, you don't understand, Mom. Like I am doing everything you just said. We're in that right now. This is not the goal. The goal is actually, I'm just trying to tread. I don't need to really go. I just need to make good work.
Right.
And the only thing I can really fight for in the future is more ownership. That's the part of the equation when I put it all up on the board and I go, everything is happening the way I want it. I would love to be richer. I don't think I get paid enough money.
Totally.
And I get taken advantage of.
Relatable.
Yeah. Like I actually just recently sent a crazy email because someone was asking for advice for like a consultation. And I was like, it's going to cost $1,000 if you want to get my advice.
Yeah.
But that's like a first time.
That you were like, I'm
monetizing my knowledge.
You also have a lot of, I think you sort of hit a precipice now, I think, where you really, like in the past, like recent, where you're like, I'm really in this. Like I have a lot of expertise. I'm an active
I'm
creative.
Not crazy.
Like,
yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I think there is a moment where that switches, where you're like, I'm like, because for a while you're just like, I'm trying. And then there's a moment where you're like, look around and you look behind you and you're like, well, I've built so much.
Yes.
And I have a lot of expertise and I know how to do something.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's where you certainly are now.
That's very kind of you to say, but no, it's to your point though. You're like climbing and then you're like, wait, okay, I went too high. And it's not that again, more money would be awesome. Projects that come out that are consistently great and meaningful, you know, even for the Kenan Kel project, there's still a lot that has to happen between us right now today and that movie getting made. At the same time, it's incredibly rewarding to see that I do believe it inspires hope in the business. Like even an announcement like that can say, okay, horror comedies are in, comedy is in. You know, there's things it does that changes the mindset of people, whether or not the product exists. Sometimes the product can be the intention to go make the thing, you know, because even with these YouTube films, I know they inspire a lot of people to pick up a camera. So there's always these different elements that I'm like really latching onto. Again, the biggest one being that we got to work on is ownership, because I don't really own, besides the YouTube films, any of the movies I make.
Right, because you were hired for a job. You had
Hired
a role
for
on
the
a
job,
yeah.
or there's investors, or there's distribution deals.
Well, when it's bigger like that, it's hard to own it.
It is
Because
hard.
it's like you need people to make it. You need a bunch of hands in the pot.
But when you have enough leverage, i.e. Ryan Coogler, who owns Sinners, you know, that's when the power comes back. And even Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
And you want that power because you want 100% creative freedom, or what's the goal of the power?
You could trade me creative freedom for creative ownership. And what the power is long-term value. Like, you know, when you go make a movie like, let's say I made a movie called At Midnight, which is a movie starring Oscar nominee Monica Barbaro and Diego Boneta. In 2023, I went to Mexico for 4 months. Anders Holm, Whitney Cummings, Kat Cohen, Casey Thomas Brown. The best time of my fucking life. First time I ever got paid to make a movie. I'm just gonna say I got paid $125,000, which, by the way, at the day and time, I'm like, I'm rich.
Right.
I'm never working again.
Yeah.
And after taxes and representation fees and living in New York City, I'm like, I made no.
You're like, I'm poor.
I'm poor. Yeah.
Oh no, I
But just so people are listening, like truly, like you split it in half for taxes and then take off fees for you 10% manager, 10% agent, 5%
Right.
lawyer. And that job technically took me 5 years to get. And then the movie comes out and we do a year in the edit. So all it's to say, whatever, was very thankful. We make that movie, goes on Paramount Plus, Valentine's Day 2023. Awesome hit. Paramount loves it. They gave us no money to make the movie. We were the underdogs, and then it became their like Valentine's Day release. Paramount Plus goes upside down. Movie gets taken off Paramount Plus.
Totally.
So I'm like, okay, I just spent 2 years of my life on a project that is no longer existing.
Yeah.
And I don't see any residual gain.
Yeah.
So like the 125 would work if I got money every year for how many people watched it.
Right.
The good news now is that it's going to come out on Hulu February 1st.
Let's go.
But I don't see any gain in that. Like that's again. So
Right.
so the problem. So the ownership conversation is like, it's basically like, would you rather own a chunk of a company and be there for when it gets the big exit,
Right.
or would you rather get paid a $75,000 salary?
Right.
Give me the ownership. Give me the long-term
Okay.
opportunity to benefit from the film financially, or at least gives me control on what I can do with the movie throughout the years.
Right. Okay.
That's why.
I get that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, granted, if you're a studio paying for a movie, I understand the concept of them owning it. But that's
Right.
why if you make
You
it,
just want like equity, essentially.
I want equity.
You want equity.
I want a lot of equity. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Equity.
What's
now.
up?
Do you watch The Pit?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Just started watching it. I was just curious.
Do you
if
like
you've seen
it?
I do. I don't know
I
how
watched Heated Rivalry.
how was that?
It's hot.
I haven't seen it, but it's all the jazz.
You got to watch it.
Okay.
It starts as porn
Okay.
and then it turns into love,
That's awesome.
which I think is like it's like what boy love is. It's beautiful
Why do you think it pierced the zeitgeist? Like knowing.
because it's just like it's gay porn for everybody,
Okay.
and it's also got a lot of heart.
There's got to be, there's always got to be something else going on besides just like hot people being hot. Like there's got to be something.
It starts with it's got a great hook, which is you're about to watch men have sex to completion in a tasteful way.
Wow. Cool.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And also like the taboo of it being like sports and like they're not supposed to do this,
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
and it's a big sexy secret.
Oh my God.
And then it's like, whoa. So it's very like tantalizing.
Sure.
And then, is that the right word? Titillating?
Titillating.
I didn't want to say titillating, even though that's the
Titillating.
right word. So
Wow, look at us.
I know, look at us, we're up there
It's
talking
so
about
cool.
titillating. And then, but then it ends up like, and then it keeps you going. There's like a few surprises in there in the narrative that you don't expect. Yep. So it ends up being like kind of a beautiful story.
What I gotta watch it, and it's on my to-do list. Since the
Yeah,
dog.
it's quick.
It's quick.
Yeah, you can watch it with the dog.
Yeah, I should. After The Pit, we'll watch that.
I mean, the dog's a puppy, so I don't know if
She's a baby.
yeah, but she won't understand.
What did she watch? She watched Finding Nemo. She loved that movie. I'm dead serious. She watched every frame.
You're kidding me.
And she watched Ratatouille. These make sense though. It's like a fish, it's a rat.
It's colors.
It's colors.
Can they see colors? Can puppies see colors?
They can, it's not truly black and white. There is like a there's
There's a little bit
there's
of
something. But also I'm realizing those are animals and she definitely knows what's going on.
oh,
She for sure does.
let's go.
She's listening to jazz music right now that I put on for her.
That's so funny. You're literally a dad.
I'm a father.
Yeah, you're like, I got to go back to the pub.
What's on your to-do list these days? Like, so you're touring right now.
Yeah.
Not to like hijack the hosting news, but I'm just genuinely curious. Like,
No,
you're writing a TV show? Am I making that up?
Yeah. Well, I wrote a pilot and I'm trying to work on that.
Good.
And yeah, and I mean, I have a feature that I've pitched to you that you like and that, you know, I have 20 pages that I keep rewriting.
Yes, I loved it. Yeah.
But I would love to talk to you about that again.
I'm talking about that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just like doing my thing. It's hard to do everything all at the same time. And so like literally yesterday I was like, okay, cool. I have nothing to do all day. So I can like, you know, I can like sit down and write. But then all of a sudden I was like, well, I have to do my taxes. And so then I like, it's just like stuff like that like, I'm just like, so then I didn't write at all because I couldn't, because I had to be like, okay, well, in order to write, I have to do taxes to get health insurance, to get blah, blah. You know, it's just like,
well, you got to do.
I had to book my flights for my tour, like, you know, stupid shit.
You're describing something that I'm really into called manager mode versus like artist mode. There's another word for it. But you need to truncate your days to be things like taxes, booking flights, where you don't allow yourself to really even do the creative stuff. It's just administrative stuff.
Right. And so you can front load that. So then you have the free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Manager, which is like that stuff, versus like artist mode, which is like you block off 4 hours to just write.
Right.
When I worked at DreamWorks Animation, which is home to movies like Shrek and Madagascar and Puss in Boots, I was an assistant there. And I had 4 bosses, 2 of which were Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig, which is kind of crazy.
He went to the college that I went to. No,
Vassar?
Yeah.
Which one? Yeah.
And he filmed Francis Ha there.
Heard of it. And they were always in and out because they were doing live action. They were coming and working on this movie called Flawed Dogs, never got made. Greta Gerwig did the voice of a dog. She was doing temp voiceover work for what would then eventually be Mark Wahlberg, who would come in once a month and do the voice. Crazy to think that nowadays you probably watch the Greta version over the Mark version, as that she was great as the voice. But these other 2 bosses I had, Conrad Vernon, who was the co-director of Shrek 2 and the voice of the gingerbread guy, and then Tom McGrath, who is the voice of the Penguin, and he is the Madagascar's director. These guys are artists. So they are storyboarding, but they're also the directors, and they're also sort of high-level DreamWorks executives. So their calendars, and what my job was to do is to sort of, they would go 4 hours of just drawing, and they'd go in their office, they'd close the door, and because it was on their G-Cal to just start drawing, they'd just go into it. They'd just start drawing. Then lunch, then from 2 to 4, they had a Zoom or a call or Blue Jeans at the time it was called, and they would do that stuff. And it was again, one of those things where I left and I was like, whoa, I get to go take that up. What a cool thing to see as an artist, and how to juggle that duality.
Is that what you do? Do you have like calendar holds for your, okay.
I do.
I'm going to do that.
I do G-Cal. I use Gemini to help me. Like I said to Gemini, I was like, here's what I need. I need to work out an hour a day. I need to have an unwinding process.
Yeah.
I need to drink. I'm good in the mornings. I need to spend time with my girlfriend. And then it sort of mapped me out this whole system that was like, okay, deep work is like 9 to noon, go have lunch, hang out for an hour and a half, whatever. Then end of day is like administrative stuff. And that's just like the basic pitch of it. But yeah, sometimes I don't follow it, but sometimes I do, and it's amazing. Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
G-Cal life. It's essential to us. I mean, it just depends how your brain works, but I find it's changed my life. Yeah.
I think I'm also getting better at like sleep schedule. Well, so that's the biggest thing that throws me off, is that like sometimes then I have a spot at midnight. And then I'm like, yeah. So it's like, then that I just
that's
like
tough.
Every day of my life. Yeah. No, literally on Sunday night, I had a midnight spot. I was on stage.
People are awake at midnight?
Yeah. Yes. There are comedy shows at midnight.
I'd be so tired. How do you do that?
I sleep late.
Got it.
But I mean, so my goal for this year was sleep until, like, get up before 10 a.m. every day.
Awesome.
That was like.
But if you're up late, how many hours of sleep are you getting a night? This has turned into a productivity
Not
podcast.
Enough. I know, now we're like really getting into the, I mean, I needed this, but.
This is good.
Yeah, no, I really need like 9 hours because I'm a girl, which sucks. But I mean, like last night I got like 7.5.
That's great.
But it's like, I don't know. I need more sleep.
Sleep is a weapon, but like 7 to 9 hours is really good. I think if that's, and like, again, you're up late.
Yeah.
I haven't slept longer than 3 hours in a month, which sucks. I mean,
you're
like,
joking.
It's spurts. No.
3?
I haven't consecutively slept longer than 3 hour spurts in a month. And I go back to sleep, but you have to walk the dog. So she barks, and it's crazy because Molly and I, not to make this like, but like prior
you really
to
are
getting
a
lucky,
dad.
No, it's prior to getting lucky, we were sleeping like 7 to 9 hours.
Yeah.
And then we're such people that need sleep. And then like the first week, I was just like, I couldn't function. I couldn't speak. I'm sure you and I were even texting. I was just like, I couldn't do anything. I've sort of adjusted to it, but no, we will wake up every 3 hours.
You have to walk her in the middle of the night?
Well, she just goes outside. Like, so you just place her on this little outdoor grass pad that we have, and then she pees and she comes back inside because she has a tiny bladder because she's a baby. And then when she's ideally bigger, I'm sure it'll be like she goes to sleep at 10, wakes up at 7. Yeah. But we're in this phase, and so we do shifts. But still,
you're literally parents.
We're parents. People do realize this, but I don't want to make it sound like I don't want to be like an annoying dog dad. So, yeah. But it's great. It's awesome. But no, it makes it tough. It makes it tough. But when you're on a film set too, you also don't really sleep, which is kind of interesting.
Right. But then you're also like, but it's also, I mean, it's another thing like that's short term.
Yeah. Have you been on a big film set yet before?
No.
We got to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we got to do that.
We got to do that. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do that.
Let's do that. We'll have that this year.
We'll call the agent.
Yeah. Wait. So also now you're doing these like filmettes.
Filmettes. You were in one of them.
I was in one of them with Connor Wood.
With Connor Wood, friend of the pod.
Big friend of the pod.
Connor, he sent me a text. He wants to introduce me to somebody, and then he hasn't done it yet. Connor, introduce me to these people.
Connor.
You were so kind. So a filmette is a 44-minute movie.
Okay. And this is a thing that existed before you.
Nope, I invented the word.
I was going to say, I thought you invented it.
I invented the filmette.
Beautiful.
I'm taking credit for inventing the filmette.
No, you invented the filmette.
Yeah.
You 100% invented. I literally saw it and I was like, he's doing these things called filmettes. Yeah. No, it's cool. I think it's great.
Thank you. It was made, the first one I made was over the summer with my friend Tess Trengelis. I don't know if you've met her yet.
Yeah, I know her, yeah.
She should come on the pod. She's brilliant. We met up every day in Central Park for like a month, and we just started filming videos together. Yeah. She was like, we got to collab. And it's so funny too when you collab with people because everyone's got their own style. So she shows up, she's like, all right, you're going to walk and say this line. We're doing like a meme video. It was like one of those like, where you're like internal thoughts videos where it's like, I wonder how many kids we should have. And it's like, and do this and do this. And we were filming chronologically. And I was like, what did we just do? And she posts it, goes like 1 million views. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, let's go make a video for me. I bring out my camera. I do some blocking. I give her a script. She's like, wait, what is this? And I go, we're filming a scene. And so we both came to it from different perspectives. Our video got 1 million views. And I was like, whoa, something's clearly hitting here. We did another video, another 1 million views. And I was like, I've never had 1 million views before. Yeah. And we did these 2 things. I'm like, let's just go film some more. So we just filmed some more. And I was like, you know what, Tess? I can't just make content for the sake of making content. I want to make this a bigger thing. So we met up every day for like a week and we filmed this little thing called Good to See You in Central Park.
Which was beautiful.
Thank you.
I really liked it.
Incredibly proud of that movie. I think it's so fun and has a strong message to it. And then I was like, let's go make another one. I was like, this is just a really fun way to make a movie. You get to hire your friends who deserve these great parts. I get to give them real good like shots and situations and like outcomes and and it's, not a terribly big nuisance to your schedule.
No, it's not.
And so that's what we did one, yeah.
I was super inspired by the way that you did the one that we did, the Twixmas one.
Twixmas, yeah.
Because, which is on YouTube now, folks. But basically, so what you do is you have like sort of a general outline.
Yes.
And you have like something that needs to happen in the scene. And then you bring on like people who are like stand-ups or like whatever, have like comedic writing
podcasts,
backgrounds. And then you basically have us improv the scene.
Yes.
And then you cut it up the way you need to make it work.
Yes.
Which is brilliant. So you can make a 45-minute movie in a couple days, which is unheard of.
It's really fun. And to that point, like sometimes for the Good to See You movies, sometimes we tried scripting the scenes and it just felt so unorganic. I don't know why. I think it's just like, there's a beauty to like, my favorite kind of scripted writing or improv is when you, exactly as you said, there's a goal, there's like a conflict, and then there's an outcome that we need to hit. And there's maybe some key lines. Sometimes there's not, sometimes there is. And then like you guys get to do what you do best.
Right.
Now, not every actor can do that. So it's like, that's why you were great in that scene and Connor was great in that scene. And sometimes you have an actor who wants words and then what they give you is incredible versus the other way around. So, I'm the other way around. Like my least favorite part about acting, and I do love acting. Yeah. That's what I studied. But like my least favorite part about acting now, because I'm a stand-up, is like,
is saying somebody else's words.
It's hard.
Because I'm like, I mean, it's like a puzzle. And so there's like a fun challenge to it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm always like, but I would say it this way. You know, like I want to do it this way. Like I just am such a brat about it.
It's the approach, right? Because if you really want to play a character, that's what the great script is about. Like, let the words do the work. That's how you become a great character. That's how you become great actors really are just doing the words and letting the words lead the emotionality of the scene. And whenever I feel like I'm just being myself, I'm like, well, you're not saying the fucking words right. Because if you just say the words right, you're not being yourself. And that's a different instance. And obviously, like for this next one, you know, you and I are working on one. I'm working on one with, oh my God, my friend Jonah Weinstein. Did you meet him?
Yeah.
Jonah,
briefly
yeah.
on the, yeah.
And he had an idea for a filmette, and I was like, great, let's write it together. And so that one is like a written one. The goal is to make one a month.
Love that.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, whether I produce them or direct them or write them, like eventually I want to be able to say to a young director or old director, hey, you're going to go make this, and I'm just going to sort of help you do that.
Right. And then that'll be like your company.
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly. So they've been really fun, really rewarding. YouTube is
YouTube's awesome.
I love YouTube. This is on YouTube.
This is on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. Some people could be watching this from YouTube right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's certainly something in the future. And then obviously when we're all done with all 12, the dream would be to give them to sort of like a Tubi or something like that to host them, or you could buy the whole season, or I don't even know. Maybe go to a museum, put them in a museum.
Yeah, let's put them in the museum.
I'll go down to the museum, put them in the museum. Sorry.
So wait, what drives your artistic voice when you're making your own stuff? Like what's like the thing that you're trying to solve for? Like why are you so obsessed with like, because you're obsessed with like situationships. I'm obsessed with situationships.
Yeah.
But like you've been in a relationship for longer than me.
I think, well, I'm a child of divorce. So I have like the ultimate origin story for this. My parents, you know, I grew up, I had an amazing childhood. I have an amazing life still, but like I loved my childhood. My parents married. I have a sister. We had dogs. I never wanted them to get divorced. They never really had any blow up fights, but like there was always something. And it was almost like it was trendy in 2005 or 6 to get divorced in New York City. So they got divorced, which sucked.
You think that they did it because it was trendy?
In my eyes, I'm like, why the fuck didn't you guys just work through it? Just go to therapy, communicate. Because I think it was communication issues. I believe they are best friends to this day. You know, they talk every day. There's not like there was a problem. Oh. Sometimes I've heard different rumors about, you know, the reasoning behind like what's going, you know, whatever it is. And at the end of the day, I'm like, you guys are best friends. Like, you're still sort of married in my book, right? Like I don't, you know, that's as I've grown older, I've come to terms with that. Like I used to be much more bitter about it. But I had this really interesting origin story where like I believe wholeheartedly in love. The love I saw that I grew up with like was two parents that clearly love each other, but then got divorced, but now are good friends. And that's like kind of my origin story. So there's a little bit of cynicism to my work. There's a little bit of fighting for romance and for the happy ending. Yeah. And sort of the happy ending might be in front of you the entire time kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you're really into the happy ending.
Yeah, and joy. I mean, I want to bring people joy and feel good and be positive. Like it's the same way I live my life. It's like, gosh, I don't know. You walk around New York and sometimes, you know, you just like walk into a coffee shop or you go to a bar and like they're not that they're being rude to you. It's just clear that they're projecting some level of unhappiness onto you.
Oh, totally.
And I was like, I went to a bar, a brewery with Lucky. And I was this bar, this like woman there, she was like, what do you want? And I was like, whoa. I was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, sorry. It's just like 40. It's my Friday. It was a Sunday. These kids. And I was like, damn, yeah, who brings kids to a brewery? And she was like, yeah, and kind of got a smile out of her. And then that's what fuels me is like that. I love bringing people from like that up. And I was like, you know what? I got bad news for you. I got a baby over there. You're going to have to come say hi to. She was like, oh, another baby. I go, it's a baby puppy. And it's a golden retriever. And you should come say hi to her. Then she was like, yeah, puppy over there. And then next thing I know, 5 minutes later, she's over there. Next thing I know, she's running back in a treat, smile on her face. And I think it's actually a perfect example of like what I'm trying to do with my art, which is like grab the person who's like grumpy and be like, come on, it's okay. It's all right. Let's just stand back up and go out there. So that's why I do it. Yeah, it happens to be rom-coms. And obviously with Kenan Kel, we're going to explore the horror genre.
Totally.
And my dream is still to make, you know, Night at the Museum and Jumanji and all that stuff. So that's kind of what we're working with.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sort of coming at it from like the opposite.
Oh my God.
My parents, so my parents are happily married and they've been married for over 30 years. But I see that and I still go, what? Like,
Right. Classic.
it
Classic.
just doesn't make sense to me.
Sure.
I've never, well, I mean, I'm in a new relationship now, so I can't really, but just watching them, yeah, so it never made sense to me.
Yeah.
And I was always just like, so it doesn't, that was a unicorn and it's a fluke and I'm not gonna have that. Like that was sort of what I told myself for a very long time. And then so I create from like a truly like a true cynicism. Like I'm not believing in soulmates. Like I don't believe in they found each other. That's great.
Right.
But like that's not real.
But the funny thing is then when you create, there's like a level of like what the audience could think of your work, which is like, she's creating from cynicism, but like little does she know. Like, it's like in a movie where the character's like, they're just my friend. We're never gonna have a future together. Right. But the audience is like, you guys are gonna end up together, you love each other. So there's that kind of fun. There's the way that people perceive it, which is also the interesting part. Right.
And then also the thing that I like to solve for is like, I feel like there's stuff that you're told and it's so incorrect.
Oh, for sure.
And so I keep getting caught in things that I'm like, well, I thought it was supposed to be like this, but it's actually like this. And that's always where and then I'm like, well, no one's ever talked about how it's actually like this.
And that's what I love about you. Also, I think people really love your videos is that you are informative in that capacity.
Right. Because I'm like, well, now I'm here and like no one said that. Because I think it's embarrassing to say certain things. Like I'm so obsessed with my boyfriend right now. Like, it's a new relationship. We're obsessed. Like, it's so much fun. And like, we always have so much fun together. I have cried so much at the beginning of this relationship. Like it's brought up so much for me about like challenging what I thought, like thinking, like realizing that other people didn't love me. And that's not what love was. And like, the way that it's so easy for him to be kind to me. I'm gonna cry talking about it. But it's like, it's sort of like hard in that way because it's like challenging what I thought the world was.
I wonder how your work will be affected. Do you find you're more or less creative right now, like with your ideas? Great.
Yeah, I mean like a couple, like 2 weeks ago, I had like the most viral tear that I've had in a very long time.
Was the moment to Oh Mercy?
Oh yeah, totally. And that was because I was like happy and joyful and like I thought that I had good ideas.
Love that.
And then I was just investing. I was like actually I felt like inspired and like
anti-Taylor Swift, which is like she hasn't made I can't say anything about Taylor Swift because they'll come
after you.
But like, you know what I mean? Where some artists are really on when they're like in heartbreak, their best work.
Right. Well, I think the thing is like create from wherever you are.
Yeah.
Like check in with yourself and be honest with where you are. Yeah. And then create from there. Like I made it. One of my most successful videos was a heartbreak video, the subway slow zoom.
Classic.
Yeah. That was like real heartbreak. I mean, it was interesting because I was actually just talking about this with my boyfriend last night. And I was like, I was describing that video to him and I was like, well, what it's about is, because we don't like obsessively watch each other's videos, which I think is probably good.
I would say so.
Yeah. Don't need to like really,
before bed, you guys aren't scrolling.
Yeah. We're like, yeah. So I was like telling him about that video and I was like, well, what's interesting, like to me, what that video is like, it's like saying that, you lose someone and then we're in a perpetual cycle of using one another to get over the past thing. Yeah. And as I was describing it to him, I looked at him and I was like, I don't feel that way anymore. Nice. Yeah, nice. But I think being honest with yourself about like where you're changing and what, like you only know what you know at the time and you have to like, does that make sense?
Makes a ton of sense. I think even just zooming out, it's like the best work is driven by true emotion, which is what your monologues do. And like, but that speaks to everything. Like, again, not to go back to this preachy film concept, but like if people are always like, how do I get started? Or what should my script be? Or I want to have these VFX with the camera. And you don't know this until you are older, I believe. And the younger you can learn it, the more weaponized you will be as an artist. That the only thing that actually matters is the emotionality of the piece, whether that's a video of you talking on the subway where you're being earnest and as you're performing it, as you're giving this performance with the words, to you, it's so real and it's coming from a real place down here. Right. Therefore, we feel that. We feel hopefully 100% of that. Sometimes people might feel a fraction of it and they still link on to that. Same goes for movies, and same goes, go back to Good to See You. There's an emotional ending to it. There's an emotionality through it. It's got blurry shots and bad sound and fuck knows what's going on there. But like there's an emotional heartbeat. And so I try to tell people this. It's like if you just like any art, painting, statue, a poem, like what a video, a movie, a Substack article, like just focus on the emotionality of it and it will transcend, and it's free. Emotion is free. It doesn't cost any money to make people feel something.
Yeah.
So that's where I get excited. And that's why I think you're circling and talking about right here is just like how you put your emotion into your work, which is great.
Right. Which is also like why I write poems.
There you go.
I do stand up and I write poems and I do the subway videos and I like it's all, to me, it's all like one thing.
It's all connected.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it all comes from like, what do I need to say and how am I going to put it in a can?
How do you express yourself with your medium via that art?
Yeah. Anyway, I know we're kind of running out of time because you have to go release your puppy from jail.
There's a puppy at home.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm going to show you a picture of her.
Yeah, we're obviously going to show a picture of her.
Can we show the clip?
While you're pulling up the picture, I'm going to ask the question that we're going to end with.
Sure.
Which is, what is your most embarrassing moment?
This is great. This is my girlfriend and the puppy this morning.
Oh.
There's Molly and Lucky.
Oh my God. Look at her. She's so cute.
Yeah, let me zoom in.
I need to like.
That's insane.
That puppy is so cute.
It's psychotic.
I need to like full body cuddle that puppy.
Embarrassing story, and I appreciate the head. We talked about this, and I don't. Here's the thing: I don't get embarrassed very easily,
and that's good.
Yeah, I love. I am a filmmaker since I was 4 years old, and I'm obsessed with dogs. This is the perfect thing. And every time I wanted to make a movie, I didn't have actors yet, so I had my sister and I had my 2 dogs, Zorro and Nana. And if Jurassic Park came out, I'd go take the camera and we'd do Jurassic Bone, or Bone Park. Star Wars, Bone Wars, it'd be like Zorro getting the bone. When Harry Potter came out, I went to the lab and I made my movie and I met dinner with my mom and dad and my sister. And as I would always do, show and tell. I mean, this is a big thing in my childhood. It's like, what'd you make? I don't even know. We would go to the computer or whatever. We'd bring the laptop into the kitchen and I'd bring the Harry Potter music in and I'd be like, all right, guys, my latest creation. Hit play. Down, 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 down. Harry Boner and the Sorcerer's Bone. And that was the name of my student film about Harry Potter and my dog. It was called Harry Boner.
Harry Boner.
And I had absolutely no idea. And my mom saw it, my mom's friend who was there for dinner, the whole people are there to see it.
And they're all laughing at Harry Boner.
They're all dying.
They're
and
probably,
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I made my first hit. Like I'm killing.
I'm killing this.
I'm like, I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good at this thing. And it took me a while.
That's why you're a filmmaker now, because of Harry Boner.
Because of Harry Boner. And that took me a while, but that's a metaphor for life, Sometimes it's just accept the praise and never ask too many questions about what might have gone wrong. That's my story.
Just use it to go to the next thing. That's really beautiful. And that's really special. And I'm so glad that fueled you to where you are today.
Yeah, I figured that was touching.
And you know what? Let's make Harry Boner.
Harry Boner and the Sorcerer's Bone. I remember it was literally Comic Sans font over like a teal background.
Obviously.
With the music and my dog's
Comic Sans
face.
went so hard back then.
I want to bring it back.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
I have Comic Sans is on my website currently.
Is that right? It is on your website.
Yes.
I was looking at your tour dates.
Oh.
Well, it's in your link tree because the good link tree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my website,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's not
right.
Linktree. I do it on my website.
That's nice.
But it's basically Linktree. Anyway. Any last words?
Appreciate you. Excited for all of our collaborations.
So
Proud
excited.
of you. Always love your work. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm trying to think.
Your YouTube? We'll watch your YouTube?
Yeah. It just my web. It's romanical.com.
It's romanical.com.
Yeah. Because
that's your
everything's
production
there.
company.
Exactly. It's a production company. It takes you to a page that has all the YouTube videos embedded.
Cool.
And I'm working on a page that will just actually play all the YouTube videos on autopilot. So it's almost like TV.
I can speak for all of us at the pod and in the world when I say we're very excited about what you're about to do. I think you're really in the pocket right now, and I think you're only going up.
Thank you.
So very, very happy
Working
to
hard.
have you on.
Working hard.
Very excited for what we're going to do together.
Hell yeah.
And
we got a fun one coming out. Well, we got to figure that out.
We gotta, yeah.
We have a fun one that will come out.
We have the outline of it.
We have a fun one that will come out.
We will, and we will. It's called Harry Boner. It is called Harry Boner.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
All right, Jonah. Thank you so much. Tell Lucky I go, and I'll see you soon.
Love you all. Goodbye.
Woo.